Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. Wednesday, May 8th, we have a new moon in Taurus. It is also Taurus season, of course, and my last Taurus reading that I posted on Friday has completely exploded in a way I never could have anticipated. So I do just very quickly want to say thank you so much. I am so grateful to every single one of you who liked and commented on that video as well as other videos. I'm so grateful to all of you who have recently subscribed to my channel. This very shy and introverted soul has been overwhelmed in the best possible way. And my heart has just been so deeply touched by the amount of you who found comfort and resonance and validation in that Taurus reading. I don't even have words. So thank you. And I am so excited that my soul family is growing. So interesting timing, right? Apparently Taurus energy is just what's up in the collective right now, at least in my reality. And this new moon is in Taurus. So I've been sitting with the energy. I have a few notes I'm going to share with you, and then we're going to jump into the cards. I will say this new moon energy is very hard to pinpoint. It is very cloudy and kind of mercurial in a sense. So hopefully we'll be able to weave the messages together in a cohesive way. All right. Keep in mind, all of my readings are timeless, so it doesn't matter when you see this. If you resonate with the message or you find it helpful, then it's for you. And if not, no worries at all. Just leave it for someone else. Also, be sure to check out the description box for some journal prompts that I will leave you based on this reading. Okay, let's get into it. So there were a whole bunch of random little threads that came through as I tuned into this energy, but then one main message came through right at the end. So some of the more random things that came through were the color purple. Purple was actually the very first thing that I saw when I tuned into the new moon energy. I saw an image of long brunette hair, kind of like mine, in a braid. I heard there is an invitation for acceleration. Do not resist the quickening. Transformation is at hand. And I saw an image of the tortoise and the hare, like that children's story, right? So it feels almost like not just that life is speeding up, but that it wants to be speeding up, and it wants us to get on board with that. I did see the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands in tarot is all about releasing responsibility and burden that isn't yours, sort of lightening your load, so to speak, and being able to flow more easily as a result of that. So that makes sense. That ties in with the fact that life is speeding up and life wants us to flow with it, right? Angel energy, just in general, came forward very strongly. I heard specifically Michael and David. Angel numbers 888, 444, 666, as well as 1101 came through. And then raspberry leaf and goldenrod also came through for some plant energies that want to work with us. I saw a hand going like this, drawing a spiral, and I heard the question, what are you weaving? So there's some kind of desire here for us to look at how we are weaving our lives with our intentions, maybe. And then the big one finally landed. Out of nowhere, I just heard the word suffering, and seemed kind of like out of context and random. So I asked, what about suffering? And I heard, we're learning how suffering can eliminate pain. Now, I know that sounds very bizarre, but then I drew 2 oracle cards. And the oracle cards are kind of clarifying the message. So let's go right into those. The 2 oracle cards that came up are number 29, find the lesson, discover the purpose in a situation, and trust that you are learning. And then number 17, growing up, wanting to grow and experience rejection of perpetual youth. Okay. Through these two cards, what I'm getting is that life wants us to grow through discomfort. Okay. There is some kind of compression that I feel happening in the collective. It's a compression or a pressure akin to a pressure cooker. But within that compression lies I'm hearing training grounds within which you can find your strength, your passion, your will, your drive, even your purpose. So if you are moving through any kind of discomfort, any kind of pain or suffering or pressure, right? There's an invitation here for you to see it as almost like the alchemical ingredients necessary for you to deepen into your sense of self, your fire, your own life force energy, your drive, your purpose. When I look at this card specifically, when I look into her eyes, I feel fire. I feel fire. And the image that's coming to me is a seed that's been planted in the soil. And it's almost like the compression or the pressure of the soil on the seed is the very thing that activates the seed into finding its own will to live, its own drive to grow and to emerge out the other side stronger and with a more defined, unshakable sense of self. Okay. So within any kind of discomforting, I don't know if that's a word, but that's what wanted to come out. Within any discomfort or uncomfortable experience, there's potential. There's potential here. Okay. So the pressure is good. The compression is good. The discomfort is good if you let it be, right? I'm hearing call to action. There's a call to action. How can you use what is uncomfortable to your advantage? Okay. Okay. Let's jump into tarot. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot for us today. Let's see. I want to go broad. I want to stay really broad because I just feel like the more I try to pinpoint or put my finger on this new moon energy, the more cloudy it gets. So let's just keep it broad. What does the collective need to know or do at this time? What does the collective need to know or do at this time, please? Yeah, too many. Son of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, this is an invitation to be extremely intentional, very intentional about every move you make. And I'm hearing more specifically every thought that you think. Now, you cannot control your thoughts. Don't get me wrong, you can't do that. That is a pointless endeavor. You don't control your thoughts, right? But you can witness them, and to a large extent, you can choose what you focus on. Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm hearing slow and steady wins the race. And I saw the tortoise and the hare earlier. Remember? Tortoise and the hare. There's this interesting dynamic between life speeding up. I don't know if you can hear my dog out there, but um, it's almost like they seem opposite, but they're complementary. Like life is speeding up, and in order for us to get on board with the fact that life is speeding up, we need to surrender in such a way that looks like we're slowing down. Yes, yes. Going back to that, the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is about letting go, dropping what isn't yours, releasing responsibility that isn't yours. When you do that, it might look on the surface like you're doing less, but what you are giving your energy to is so much more powerful, right? When you take on responsibility that isn't yours, when you're trying to do everything for everyone, you are dimming your own light. You're dimming your own power. Your energy is diluted, right? But when you focus entirely on what is yours, drop everything that isn't and just give all of yourself to what is yours, the impact of that is so much bigger. Because excuse me, because all of you can show up for it, right? So when all of you shows up for one thing, that is more powerful and impactful than a fragmented, diluted, disempowered version of you trying to do 100 things. You know what I mean? So slow and steady wins the race, being very intentional. It may look like you slow down on the surface when you let go of what isn't yours, but you're actually speeding up because you're surrendering to the current of life. It's this interesting dynamic here. Okay. Tell me more. Thank you. Ooh, yeah. Another Knight, Son of Cups, and Judgment. I'm hearing when you slow down, when you take your energy back, and you focus on what is yours and release what is not, right? Then that which is the most important to you, the truth in your heart, is so much clearer and stronger, and you're able to follow your heart's calling into your higher calling, your higher purpose, right? Slow down. Interesting. Okay, now what does this have to do with suffering? Finding the lesson in the discomfort, in the compression. Hang on. I'm hearing each and every one of us in our own way is finding our own edge. We're finding our own edge, our tipping point, for some of us even our breaking point, where we realize enough is enough. We cannot keep doing what we've been doing. And the discomfort is driving us to refocus back in on what is true for us. The discomfort and the compression is forcing us to drop all the distractions and go back in to our heart and give all of ourselves to that. I hope that makes sense. It's all tied together, and it's all for the purpose of being being light enough, free enough, authentic enough to flow with the currents of life into our higher calling, which is really just like a higher level of embodiment, a more authentic level of embodiment. Wow, this is very interesting. Anything else? Anything else here? So what's the advice? What is the advice? Final advice, please. Well, should we go into challenge? Yeah, I'm hearing go into challenge. What's the primary challenge that the collective is facing right now? I just saw 1555, so 555, which is about disruption and change. Well, the challenge is to be able to allow what has been familiar up to this point to disintegrate, dissolve, be destroyed, right? The discomfort of destruction. You know, that moment in the Ten of Wands where you release responsibility that's not yours. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. It's almost like you have familiarized yourself with that discomfort. And so even though it's pain or suffering, it's what you're used to. Okay. So the challenge is to sit with the discomfort of change while old structures disintegrate. Okay, what's the advice? What does the collective need to know or do? Any final messages here? Oh, Ace of Cups. I'm hearing give back to yourself. Give back to yourself. Because it is only when you give back to yourself that you can find a state of overflow, that you can give from a state of overflow. Right? How can you fill your own cup today? How can you love yourself today? How can you focus on what really matters most? And strength. Perfect. Yep. That's it. That's self-love. Self-love and patience and connecting with the strength of your soul, the strength of your own life force energy, the power of your own life force energy when you take it back and you direct it into what matters most rather than letting it be diluted and dispersed among responsibilities that aren't yours, right? So we're all in that seed phase, right? And the pressure we feel is life's way of inviting us to bloom, you know. All right, everyone. I feel like that's complete. So, again, be sure to check out the description box for those journal prompts. They will hopefully help you to unravel this message for yourself a little bit deeper and facilitate introspection. Leave any questions or comments down below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next reading.